Hi everybody, it's Kent from Man About Tools, and in this video I'd like to show you how I built this post and beam pavilion in front of my workshop. This will be a fairly short overview of this pavilion build. There's nothing particularly complicated about the project. It's all pretty straightforward construction techniques, and many I've already covered in other build videos I've posted. I wanted to make a functional and attractive covered outdoor workspace in front of the roll-up door of my shop so I could work on some projects outside. I built this pavilion last summer and I had a very short window of time to complete it, so I didn't shoot a detailed video that covered all the steps. But I'll highlight some parts of the build I think you might find interesting or helpful if you're looking to build something like this yourself. I think this pavilion turned out pretty well, and as I like to do, here's some animation showing how it all went together. Onto the existing concrete pad, I secured 4 galvanized post saddles with anchor bolts. Then, 4 rough-sawn 6x6 posts were secured to those saddles using lag bolts. 6x6 beams were set on the top and bolted to these posts. 2x6 cross-tie beams connect the taller posts to the lower 6x6 beam, and these sit in pre-cut dados. 4x4 corner braces are installed on the posts and 6x6 beams. Additional lap cut braces connect the posts to the 2x6 cross ties. Equally spaced 2x6 rafters are placed across the lower and upper beams. Blocking is added to help secure the outside 2x8 rafters. Across all the rafters, I added 1x8 strapping boards, and 1x8 fascia boards cover the lower and upper end of the rafter tails, and a metal roof is screwed to the strapping. On the far end of the pavilion, I wanted a privacy wall. I added an additional post that was set in a saddle secured to the concrete and screwed to the cross-tie beam at the top. Then 2x2 cleats were added to the posts, followed by 1x8 boards that were screwed to them. I built this pavilion with the post set at 12 foot by 9 foot for a few reasons. I wanted it wide enough to allow for full access to the roll-up door. I also wanted the taller post to be set back from the shop wall by 3 feet for this walkway, and I wanted the posts on the low end to be well back from the driveway. I was also trying to work with existing 6x6 posts and beam lengths I already had on hand. The 6x6 beams are 12 foot 9 inches long. The front posts are 8 feet tall, and with an 8-degree roof slope, the low end posts are a few inches under 7 feet. Overall, the height of the pavilion is around 9 foot 4 inches tall. To secure the posts to the concrete, I use these heavy gauge saddles. These saddles have 2 holes in the bottom where you can attach the saddle to the concrete with these anchor bolts. And these are concrete anchor bolts that have a sleeve that catches on the concrete when you tighten the nut down. So first I set these in place, marked the locations, and with a 1/2 inch concrete bit and impact driver I was able to drill the holes, set these in place, and then tighten them. And since there is the end of the bolt and nut sticking up in the bracket, I drilled into the bottom of each post to allow space for that. And then I treated the bottom of the post so it wouldn't wick up any moisture. So once that's in place, then I can set this in, drill into the side where the holes are, and then run in these 3.5 inch lag bolts to secure the post to the saddle. Now this concrete pad slopes from my shop towards the driveway, and it also slopes this direction towards the walkway. So once my saddles are in place, I can use a laser level to mark a point on each saddle, and then I can then adjust the length of each post so that my beams still end up level. So you can just turn the laser level on, rotate it to where it shows on the saddle, and make a mark on each one of the saddles, and then measure from the top of the saddle to that mark and use that as the reference. And the distance between those is the additional height that these posts have to be cut. So I'm not sure if you can see where the laser level is here, but I'll put a mark right there. And then I'm going to measure the distance from the top of the saddle to that mark, and that'll be my reference point. And then I'll move on and we'll mark some more. Okay, and I'll mark this one in the same spot right there. Okay, now this is the shop. So the two posts that are closest to me, both were 3.5 inches down. So they are at the same level plane. Now the one that is over where it slopes away the most with the drain pipe, I measured 1 3/4 inches down where the mark was. So that post needed to be 1 3/4 inches longer. And then the other corner, I measured down 3 inches. So that post has to be 1/2 inch taller to make it level across those. So with the slope of the concrete pad taken into account, I can now cut the 4 posts. The 2 taller posts have a dado cut in to accept the 2x6 tie beam. And here's how I did that. These are posts from my garden pavilion project that had a similar tie beam design, where the tie beam sits in a dado of the post. I marked the location of the dado on the post, then with my circular saw set to 2 inches deep, I cut a series of thin parallel slices. Then I break off those wafers with a mallet, then clean up the dado with a chisel. I cut my posts and beams to length by marking a line around the 6x6 with a large square. Then I make 4 cuts with my circular saw, then finish off the cut with a handsaw. I don't have a beam saw that can cut deeper, but this works just fine. These are 6x6 posts for my greenhouse project I built a couple of years back. The low-end 6x6 beam also has a dado to accept the butt end of the 2x6 cross tie, and that dado is cut in a similar fashion as the front post. Here you can see the tie beam sliding into the dado cut in the lower 6x6 beam. This kind of X-ray animation is pretty cool. And on the back side of this low 6x6 beam, I've drilled 2 holes where I run in lag bolts to tighten that cross tie into that dado. So now that I have the 4 posts stood in their brackets and some temporary bracing, I set the 6x6 beams on top, and I ran in a long lag bolt through the top of the beam into the top of the post to secure it. Now generally that's enough, but I thought I'd try some additional hardware where those two meet to add a little bit extra strength. I've never used this hardware before, so I thought I'd give it a try. In my greenhouse project and others, I have secured beams to posts with long lag bolts. I countersink space for the head and washer, then with the beam in place, I drill into the top of the post. Then I'll run in the long lag bolt by hand with a socket wrench or impact driver. Some penetrating oil sprayed on the bolt makes this go a lot easier. I built this pavilion myself, so I added some extra hardware and brackets to make lifting the beams and setting them in place a little bit easier and a little bit safer. Once the posts were cut and stood up in place and secured with some brackets to the wall and to each other, I cut the beams and then lifted those up into place. Now these beams are too heavy, I couldn't lift them just by myself. So I built a ladder system to help me do that. And what I did was I screwed on some 2x4s across this side and the far side, spaced a couple of feet apart. And then I slid the beam in and worked it up each side as I went along to set it up into place. I'll show you with some animation to make it a bit easier to understand. So yeah, I can slide the beam across the first 2 lower 2x4s, Then I can rotate and lift it to the next rung of my improvised ladder, then move to the other side and do the same. Then, when it's on the top rung, I can, while on a stepladder, do a final lift to get the beam up on the post. The 2x6 tie beam is secured to the front post in the dado with some galvanized lag bolts. And I take the time to mark my locations so that they're on a nice 45-degree angle, evenly spaced, because they are part of a visual element of the structure. I made all the corner braces from 4x4 fir and secured them to the posts and beams with 2 lag bolts at either end. And I drilled and countersunk the holes for the lag bolts on my drill press at 45 degrees. So the ones that run into the posts run in horizontally, and the ones that run up into the beams go vertically. And I chamfered all the edges of the posts and beams and corner braces with a power plane or a sanding disc on my angle grinder and stained everything before assembly. Where the corner brace meets the 2x6 tie beam, I removed some material to create a lap joint. Now, this was a little bit tricky to do. I used my table saw to rip down from both sides of the corner brace and then used a handsaw to finish up the cut. I'll start with a full dimension 4x4 rough sawn fir. On my miter saw, I'll measure and make my first 45-degree cut. I'll mark my finish length and lay out the next cut for the opposing angle. Now I'll lay out the lap cut. I'll soon have a plan for this pavilion available for download on my website at manabouttools.com/lean-to-pavilion. With a circular saw set to 1 inch deep, I'll make the shoulder cut. This is the 45-degree shoulder that sits up under the tie beam. On my table saw, I need to make 2 cuts. I'll first set the fence to 1 inch. I'll make a partial cut up to the pencil line I marked on the fence. I removed my blade guard for this demonstration. Then I'll adjust my fence for the cut on the other side. I'll make another mark on my fence so I don't go past the shoulder cut. Table saws are dangerous tools. I feel comfortable making these cuts this way. It's also possible to do this entire cut with a handsaw, or a bandsaw would be ideal. I'll clamp the brace to a sawhorse and finish this lap cut with a handsaw. All the lumber for this project was milled full dimension from trees on our property, except for the rafters I didn't have and had to buy. Those were nominal dimensions so they would fit the rafter ties, as I'll talk about a bit later. That looks pretty good, and I can clean that up with mallet and chisel. I'll mark the hole locations for the lag bolts and use a Forstner bit on my drill press to make these countersinks. An extra stop clamped to my drill press table would have helped steady the workpiece. Then I'll switch to a drill bit. This bit was not long enough to go right through, but that's no problem. I'll finish it with a hand drill later. I'll chamfer the corners with my power plane and sanding disc on an angle grinder. And the sanding disc can also be used to clean up any other cuts. A little sanding and some stain and this brace is ready. For rafters, I bought 2x6 fir and set them in place with the help of some galvanized rafter ties. And working by myself, this was the way to go. I could set all the rafter ties and screw them in place along the lower and upper 6x6 beam. Then I took the 2x6 fir and then cut them to length, cut an angle for the end at 8 degrees, and I also put a pencil mark here where the rafter would meet the rafter tie. Then I could just set them in place, screw them in, and move down the row here, and the ends would all be in a line. So to help secure this end 2x8 rafter, I added some extra blocking between here and the rafter beside it, both about in the middle and one at each end that sits on top of the 6x6 beam. And over the rafters, I attached a 1x8 cedar strapping to give me something to attach the metal roof panels to. On the ends of the rafters, I attached this 1x8 rough sawn fir fascia board on the low end as well as the high end. Over the cedar slats, then I attached metal roof panels. These are 36 inches wide by 12 feet long approximately, and I use rubber washer screws to attach those. Also, I have a snow dam here and flashing on the edge to keep it from lifting under the wind, and I had an eaves trough installed. At the leading edge, there's a piece of flashing covers the edge and runs down the front of the fascia. I wanted a privacy wall at this end of the pavilion, so I attached a galvanized post saddle to the concrete and then installed this 4x4 post and attached it to the tie beam. And then I added some cleats to the post and screwed on these 1x8 boards. Thanks for watching. Leave me any questions or suggestions in the comments section below. We'll see you next time.